Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codeshare.co.uk. Welcome to this 5th episode of a series where I help you build a website with Umbraco V8. In the last episode, we got our document type structure set up and with using compositions and things like that, and that enabled us to build the content tree out. Just to a test level, we've not actually got any real content yet, but this is just within the Umbraco back office. We've got this page structure here, and what we want to do in this episode is start adding some templates, because if we go to, say, the About page and we go to Info, we don't have any templates. And if you tried to view this on the front end, it would say page not found because there's no template exists for this page. So let's get started then, and we may as well make a start with the content template as well. So if we just go into, actually, let's just make a start by creating all of the templates, leaving them blank, and assigning them to the different document types. So if we go to settings and we go to templates and we go to master, so we already have one for home, and in home let's just remind ourselves it inherits from master, and it's got a header and then it's got its main content and things like that. Now this main content here on the home template is actually it's like a latest articles section. And what I did in the starter kit was create a latest articles partial that would start from here. It would have all of this in, and then it would have a link through to the older posts, and it did have some paging on it as well. So first thing I'm going to do actually is we're going to take this and we're going to create a partial out of it, because we need to use this on another template, which is the blog section template. So let's just cut this, and I'm not going to do it in the browser. We're going to actually do it in Visual Studio. So if we go to the home template, which is open already, and we're just going to cut that. So I'm using Control and X there to cut. And then if I go to partials and I just click on one of these partials, I can do copy and paste, or I could do control, and what I like to do is click on it, hold control and just drag it up to the folder, the parent folder, and that just creates a copy of it. So I'm going to say latest articles, and I think I mentioned in the previous episode why I don't just do right click new, because it scaffolds it and it does a load of stuff by adding packages that you need for MVC, and I don't want that. So latest articles, and then I'm just going to replace the contents from here downwards with this. So although it's hard coded, it's just the latest articles partial. And then what we can do, as we've done in previous episodes, is we can just go back here and we can just do @html.partial, and then we can put the path to the partial view. So views, partials, and then latest articles.cshtml. And then with the header, this header, it won't work at the moment because it's not actually page title, it's title, I think, and we're going to change that. So we'll just hard code this again just to say, we could leave it as @model.name, because it will always have a name. The page will always have a name, that's why, right? And if we leave it like that, and that's on the home page. So now I think if we visit the home page, we should see it, and it might need rebuilding the model, so we'll just check. But that should actually still show us the latest articles underneath, and we've got the header. And we've got a problem up here, lorem ipsum dollar. Right, so let's just have a look in the master. Oh, that was me testing something out for somebody. I use this as a base to test something, right? So refresh that. There we go, the navigation's back and everything. Right, so that is showing you that we've now move the latest articles into a partial, which will be helpful, as I say, for when we do the other template, which is the article list. So while we're on that topic, we may as well move over to the article list. Right, so what we want to do then, let's start with creating the article list template. So we'll just go into templates, article list, and in here, and we'll just save that for now, and we'll just copy what is in home really, because essentially it's pretty much the same at this point, but later on when we work on this page specifically, we will focus on it. So that's the article list. We want an article as well. And the article will differ slightly because it's got the content in it. So what we'll do is we'll start off with it being like this. So if we just create another template called article and then save. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the download from when we downloaded the template, and we'll go into the post HTML and we'll edit that. Actually, I'll just close that. I think we should have put it into the build. Yeah, we've got it already in Visual Studio. So what we can do is we can use this as the main content of it. So we've got the header and we've got the article. So in fact, we can just copy from there to there. We'll use the header partial. So if we go back into here, so we've got our article. Instead of having it as latest articles there, we can just paste over the article element from that post HTML file, which was part of the template that we downloaded. And we'll have a look at this now. So we'll go to document types, we'll go to pages, we'll click on article, and we need to associate the template with that. So we'll choose default template and we'll say article and then save. And then on article list, as we've got one for that now, we can do the same. So article list, templates, choose a default template, article list, and save. And then for these, what we just need to do is we need to go into this, and we need to go to info, and it's already associated that. We just need to save and publish with it. And then we need to go to blog, info, article list is already associated, save and publish. So now if we do go to, say, /blog, we should see what looks like the home page. So cannot bind source content type article list to home. All right. So the reason we've got that error is because if we go into the view, if it doesn't show up in the list, what you need to do is just refresh, and that will pull through the templates that we created. Right click on the template and include in project. And again, right click on the template and then include in project. So now when you go into it, it will have all the syntax highlighting for us. So it's complaining that article is using the home model, which it shouldn't do. It should use the article one. And then the other one is the article list. It should use the article list model. And again, if you're not sure about the models, namings and things like that, you can go into the app data folder, models, and then models generator.cs, and you can just have a look to see. So we've got one called article and one called article list, and we can see all the properties that we've created that we can start to use as well. So let's just refresh now. So that should now be trying to bind the article list model to that page, and it's worked. And the reason why the image isn't loading properly is probably because of the relative pathing for that header. So again, we can have a look in the header. So if we go to article list, yeah, it's just a relative pathing. So if we do a slash and then a save, then that means it starts from the root of the site there. So if we now refresh that, that should load the picture, and then we will have the same problem on the article one. So we just need to do that there and save. And if there are any images used in this, which there is, we'll do a slash there and then save. Now these are just sample images. Let's just see what the name of the post is. So if we're going to test article, go to info and click on the URL. then what we should get is the post as it was in the template. So that's good then. So we've got a content style template, and we've got the list style template as well. And what we can do for easy navigation between those, we can just, whilst we're still hard coded on the navigation and things like that, we can just get the about to be /about in the URL of it, the home to be just /, the sample post to be whatever that is, so test article, and the contact to be /contact. And let's just put a couple more in. One for search. Oh, we'll do one for blog. So and one for search. So those URLs should work. So if we refresh this now, it just means that we can easily navigate between them. So we've got home, about. About's got the error because we've not assigned that yet. Sample post, we did the wrong URL. So if we just go to /blog, blog, refresh that. So I'll save that and then refresh that. So now hopefully when we click on sample post, it will go through to the right article. Blog, yeah, that's working. Search, we don't have a template for that yet. And contact, we don't have the template for that one either. So let's carry on then. So let's wire up the about one. So about is going to use a content template. So just get this open. Go into here and settings, and we need to create some more templates. So these are the templates we've got. So we need to get one called content. Actually, just copy what's in article, and then go to new, create, underneath master, create, and then just call it content, and then Control A and paste that in there and save. And then we'll do what we'll do is we'll assign that to the document type. So we click on content in the document types, choose default template, and we'll choose content. Save. We'll go into the content, onto the about page, info, check that it's selected, save and publish. Now if we go to that URL, it will get the error that we had before because it's trying to map the article model to the about to the content one. Yes, so it's saying it can't put a content one into the article model. It's not matching. So what we can do, that error there, that message just came up because the model's generated has been changed, which is what we expect. Let's go into Solution Explorer, refresh, right click, include content, go into content, and we can see that that's still trying to map to article, but we know that from the document type it's a content document type, therefore the generator model is a content model, so we need it to map to content, not to that. And refresh, even though we're not using any of the properties yet, but we're just getting it all set up so that when we do, it will be straightforward. So that's about. So we've got home, about, sample post, blog, search has got an error on it, and contact has got an error on it as well. So let's get this search one working. Just log in on this one. So the search, what I did for the starter kit was I did a custom bit of HTML and what have you to get the search working. So we don't actually have a search template on this site, and I don't really want to go into search until on its own episode really. So for now, what I think I'll do is I'll just do the very basics for this search, just to get us as something. So I'm going to copy it from what I used in the starter kit and then take things out of it so that we don't go too far ahead of ourselves, because we're not ready to do that. So we'll go back into settings and we'll just create a template. So again, just repeating the same things here. New template, underneath master, create. And because you're doing it underneath master, it already sets the layout to be master. So we'll call this one search and then save that. And what I'll do is I'll just paste in what I've got from the starter kit and I will save it for now. But what I'm going to do is just going to get really like the header from article and put that in where it's got that partial there, because again, that's getting ahead of ourselves. And then it's got a search form. So I don't really want us to do too much with this. So I'm going to just remove all of this search results part here. And I'm just going to put a P. There are no search results. And save. And here again, we're using dictionary, which we'll get into later on, but we're not doing it yet. And I'll just put in search for something. ... Right, so if you're looking at that, you might want to pause the screen or what have you. So it's going to use the query string. No, we won't do that yet. So all it's going to do, so it's got a form action of model.url. Again, we'll leave that as /search. We want to do it as minimal as possible to do with what we already have. And I'm just going to leave that there. So yeah, pause it at this point. And maybe just do a bit of a typing exercise to get this to be the same as this on yours. So that will be the search template setup. And then if we go back to the search document type, templates, choose a default template and search, and then save. And then we can go into the content for the search page. Oh, just wait for the green bar to come up. Right. Info. Search. We already have the info tab open. Save and publish. Now we can go through to that. We should. Yeah, we've got an error. Because it's also requiring something else from the clean starter kit that I use. So if we go back to settings, go to the search template and delete this using part here. And then save. And one thing I did notice there as well in the contact document type. Oh, it was contact. Yeah, sorry, no, not search. Right, that's fine. So now we should be able to go to search, and it shouldn't have any issues because we are pointing to the right model of search. And there we go. We have a search, and it's just got there are no search results. So it's not doing anything. So that's blog, sample post, about. And again, these are all really just hard-coded templates, but we'll make them functionally work. We'll do them piece by piece in future episodes. But this one, I just wanted to carry on from the last episode where we created the document types and we've got the page structure. And then I just wanted to get us to the next point where we've mapped some templates, albeit them hard-coded mainly. But then, we're getting somewhere with it. We're mapping these to the templates and we can see how it starts to come together. So the last template that we need really, well, there's two more templates, but the last one of these that we need to get working for visually that is in the navigation is the one called contact. Contact. So I've just right-clicked on master here, create one underneath it, and I'm just going to do one called contact and then press save. And again, I did a bit different on the contact one. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the folder here and we've got it in the build. So if we go to solution, and we go to contact HTML that we already copied in the first episode, I think it was. So we've got a header, and then we've got this part here. So we can copy this at least and put that into our template. So if we refresh, right click on contact, including project, right click on search and including project, go into the contact one and then paste that in there. So that is the contents of it, and then we just need to get the header as well. So we're going to copy that. So content into contact, and have I pasted that in? Oh yeah, the contact CSHTML. I just want to replace that there and save. So now if we save all, and because we've got this model.name, it will always keep telling us what the name of the page is when we try and visit that. So if I just go back in here, refresh, and then go to content. Right, so we've not set it up. So if we refresh this in the back office, this should have the changes. It should load it in from the file. What we then need to do is make sure that the document type is wired up to use that template. So if we go back to pages, contact, templates, choose the template, and we want the contact template, and save. Go into content, go into contact, info, make sure that's selected, and then save and publish. Go to the page and we should see it working. Here we go. So we've got the contact page. Again, all hard coded, not actually doing anything at the moment, but it's there. And then what we can do at this point is we can put the header that we've pasted onto all of these into its own partial. It won't be it's not what we're going to do for the final header, because we're going to have a separate model for it. But for now, we'll just create a partial called page header. So if I just go to, say, latest articles, hold down Control, drag it up, and so basically it does a copy and a paste for us. And I'm just going to call this page header. So if we go back into there and I just take this and cut this out, and while I've cut it out, I'm just going to do at html.partial, and then we'll just put in the path to it. Views, partials, page header .cshtml. Save that, and then if we go into here where we created the page header, and we just leave inherits Umbraco view page at the top and paste this in. So this is what our header looks like. Then we just need to go into all the templates that are using that header. So if we go back to contact where we added this line, and then we go to all of the different pages like article, we can just replace that header bit there with just one call to the partial. Article list, again do that. Contact, yeah. Content, paste over that. Home, again, that can go. And then search. So you can see that our templates are getting simplified. Like if you look at the home one, all the home template has in itself is just two calls to, it's to use the master, and then it says render out the page header, render out the latest articles. So now if we go back to the site and we click on the, oh, we've not wired that up, but if we just click on home, then we'll see that home will be rendering that header still, and it still has home because it says model.name. And then what we want to do is, because we've done all those, there's one more template which is the XML sitemap. And for now, we're not really going to do anything apart from just create a template, just so that the XML sitemap does have a template. But we'll work on that as a separate episode as well. So if we go into the settings again, go to templates, and it doesn't fall as part of the layout, so we don't need it as part of master. So we can just do it by clicking on templates, 3 dots, create, and just call it XML sitemap. And we'll save that. And we'll leave this the fun starts here messaging, because we'll come to that at another time. Click on XML sitemap, templates, choose a default template, XML sitemap, save. And then we can go to the content item that we created. Make sure that that's selected, save and publish. So now when we go to this, it will just come up as empty really. So we know that we've got to do that in the future episodes. So now all of these pages have got a template with them, apart from error actually. And I think, did I do an error template? I did do an error template. So again, what we'll do is we'll just do one for that as well. So we'll go to settings, go to templates. We'll copy the contents of what's in contact. So Control A, copy, and content, sorry. And then we'll create one under master called error. And then we'll select all, paste that in there, and then save. We'll change the model to be error instead of content. You can use Control S to save, and then what we'll just do is we'll just put in here a message to say page not found. And again, we're going to do this in future episodes, but for now we can just delete everything else so that we just have a page not found like this. So then if we go to the document type, assign the template, choose default template page, error, save, and go to content, error, info, template, yeah, save and publish. Then we can have a look at that on the front end. So if we go to /error, there we have it. We've got error and then page not found. So that the last thing there then in this navigation that we just need to make work while we're in this mode is just to fix that there. So if we have a look at it, it's part of the navbar brand element, which is this. If we right click and inspect and see where it is, yeah, it's this navbar brand. So if we go back into the build on the navigation partial, and we find the href for this navbar brand, and we just do / and then save. Then what we can do is we can refresh that, and once that's refreshed, when we click on this will just go to home. So we can do home about, and then click on that, and that will go back to home. So we've got it all set up now, so that we are, and I suppose what we can do as well with this link down here, we can make that go to the /blog page. And again, this isn't the final thing, this is just to help while we move on to the next stage. But if we go to the latest articles, go to that link, instead of it being a hash, it can just be blog. Oh, and save that. Now if we refresh, older post goes to there. So I think we'll end it there. We've wired up all the templates to the content items and the doc types. So now we've got our page structure, and we can just have a quick look around. There's not much difference between the different templates at the moment, and they're all hard coded in, but it gives us a base to then move on into the next episode where we'll do more and we'll start wiring things up properly. So I hope you like that. If you did, and you do want to say thanks, then you can if you want to, no obligation. Go to codechair.co.uk/coffee. And thank you to those that have already gone and bought me a coffee. I really do appreciate it. So thanks a lot for that. Also, please click on like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell if you want to be notified when there's another video out. And feel free to write comments. If you're stuck, don't forget there's our Umbraco Forum, or comment on the video and I'll try and help you. Yeah, and please share if you can as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.